All right, YouTube. So I am not a huge unboxing fan. It's just, just get on with it, right? Just get on with it. But this box, you guys saw in my last video, was sitting at my doorstep. And yeah, so yeah. So if you can imagine what's in here, this is, like I said, not an unboxing fan. But just give you a size of the tank. There is the 30-gallon tanks sitting up there on top of the refrigerator, and this is the new tank that just came in. And as you guys can probably imagine, here is one edge all the way down to here. So it is quite a bit bigger than the other tanks. And man, are these things packaged. Holy moly. Check that out. Yeah, this is this is night and day compared. I don't think this is not going to be I don't know, I might be able to pick it up. Get this with one hand. It is aluminum. The packaging on this is just insane. They made sure that they have protection on there. They even tell you that these are sharp. So this is the new replacement fuel tanks. Let me see if I can lift this out of here. And I can already tell you, it seems like the aluminum I'm gonna walk this over here. Oh yeah, the aluminum on this is a lot thicker than the aluminum on the vans. The skin, I should say, the skin seems a lot more, a lot more thicker, or yeah, thicker. So it's got a little bit of mass to it. So let me just kind of give you guys a reference of the old tank versus the new tank. Now this tank, I'll pull this one off the cart here. Now this tank, as I walk over there, is I don't want to say completed, but all the ribs are in, and it is tremendously lighter than the. I'm gonna set this on here to kind of give you guys a reference. So yes, so this is the old tank, and this is the new tank on the bottom. So you can see there is quite a difference in that. And actually, these are two skins taped together. So yeah, huge difference. And yeah, so that's where we're at. And like I said, this is the old tank that I did, and I'm gonna put this back on. Actually, let me do this before I hurt myself. I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera down, and then I'll come back. So there you go, skins are out. So I got to take all of the tubing, that's insulation tubing. But yeah, so they're using T3, which is what I would expect, 2024 T3 plate. So it is, to give you an idea, yeah, it is. It's definitely thicker. A little bit thicker in material, but yeah, so and as you guys saw earlier, it is quite a bit larger. Now I still have my jig for holding it up, so let me get this protected. They put this on there to protect the edges and everything. So let me get it out, and I'll put it in one of the racks, or not in one of the racks, but in the tank jig. And yeah, so we'll go from there. We'll take some measurements, but I can already tell by looking at this just seems thicker. It's definitely got a lot more mass to it, but yeah, I mean, what do you expect? It's a lot bigger tank. So yeah, this is, all the parts they sent it out. This is the jig for cutting out. I told you I was going to put 2 fuel senders in there, not just 1, but 2. So this is the jig that they provide to cut for the fuel sender. So that way you have a fuel sender at the edge down, and you have 3 roughly here. So that way you get an accurate measurement of fuel. One of the complaints about the vans with the sending unit, especially when you're using the sending units, is you actually don't start seeing your fuel decrease until you actually reduce your fuel capacity because of the way the sending unit is. So with this extra sending unit or fuel gauge in there, it will give you a more accurate. Now, I'm going with the Dynon system and everything, so I'll know exactly how much fuel I have. But yeah, I had an opportunity. Yeah, it was $100 more for the sending units. They don't charge any more for putting in the second sending unit as far as the kit goes, but the sending units are about $55 a piece, so about 110 bucks. So yeah, it is what it is. You have the backup mechanical fuel gauge, which it's always a good thing to have. Airplanes, you always want a backup when you can have one. So yeah, so let me finish unpacking. Like I said, they give you a really nice. You guys have already seen this. And everything from Sky Design, they give you a parts list and everything. Everything in blue you still have to order from Vans. Everything not in blue you have to do it. And then Aero South. So this is Kent and everything. Great group. So far my interactions with them has been outstanding. And from what I can see, the materials. Yeah, this is really, really, really. I'm really impressed with their packaging, and nothing is damaged. I also like the fact the bluing. Yeah, look at that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's not. If you've been building an RV, you guys will know. Taking that protective coating off is quite a chore. So yeah, so let me get finished getting everything out and getting all the paper and stuff out, and then we'll get it into a jig, and we'll see what we got to work with. All right, so I'm back. So we got it in the crate. Oh my gosh, this thing is just massive. I don't know if these are final drill, so I'll probably have to final match drill these holes. I don't know. I'll we'll know a little bit, but they do look a little bit smaller. I will tell you this though. I wanted to show you guys this. So I zeroed this out, and we'll get a reading so you guys can see it. Right? So that's about 495, yep. I mean, it's pretty much on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zero this out again. So we're on. I'll show you the difference in the thickness. And I'll go over here to the Vans tank, which is on the rack. And we will take another measurement. And that's the difference. So in the Vans world, so that is the difference between the two as far as thickness goes. Considerably thicker material. There's no doubt about it. No question about it. It is tremendously. It is. Go back. And I zeroed it out on the other tank and then put it in here. So that tells you it's a tremendous difference. This is a lot thicker material that we get from Sky Designs. Now, to me, I find that better. And let me tell you why. When you're doing the vans, they want you, when you do the top or the lid here that goes across this piece up here, you countersink these holes here. These holes are countersunk. And I was a little concerned, not these holes, these are actually the attachment, these holes here, down here. These are countersunk, and you don't dimple these, you countersink these. And I was concerned that you were just taking off way too much material doing a countersink. You know, dimpling is where you compress it. You're not removing material. When you countersink something, though, you do remove the material. So I was a little concerned, but now with the added thickness of this material, and I'll tell you, it's beefy. With the added thickness, I'm not concerned about that. I was a little concerned, to be honest with you, on the other one. So yeah, wow. I just can't say enough. This thing is a beast. And the other thing I've noticed is they went ahead, because you've got some nut plates that go in here. They went ahead and got all your nut plates in place, or your holes for your nut plates, where vans, you actually had to you actually have to drill your nut plates out. So here on the vans, they have the hole, but they don't have them where they're drilled. Where on these other ones, they already have them drilled out. So that's an added feature, I want to say, that they did. Another thing about the thickness, I don't know. I'm not an aerospace engineer. I'm not a mechanical or structural engineer, but to me, also with the stiffness, the thickness, one of the things that people talk about is you walk on the wings to get in and out of this airplane. And I've heard where you're not supposed to obviously step on the fuel tank, but because of its location, some people have done that. And that has caused some fuel leaking. With this stiffer material, I think it's going to have a lot more rigidity. I don't know. I mean, I can tell you, I'm already impressed with the thickness. The weight is quite a bit more. I think what I'll do is when I get this tank to the same level as that tank build that's up there, I'll weigh them. And that will tell you that the weight difference. I can tell you these things are beefy. They got some mass to them. So that's man, I'm impressed. Like I said, I'm just wondering about if we have to match drill these holes. It's no big deal. I mean, it's no big deal. Match drilling. It's just an extra step, but because I got the sized holes with the kit. But wow, this is just it's impressive. I am really, really impressed with the quality of the aluminum, and I'm also, with the mass. It definitely has the mass that you would expect in a fuel tank. Like I said, one of the first things I noticed when I pulled the RV10 tanks out, I was like, wow, these skins are kind of flimsy for holding fuel. But but like I said, I'm not a structural engineer. Vans knows more than I do, so I won't criticize too much. But it is night and day. I wouldn't say night, dusk and day, dusk and night. There's definitely a huge difference, or a big difference. I don't say huge. I don't want to discount Vans, because they obviously have a great product, but you can definitely see the thickness of the material here is just quite a bit, quite more better. So we got on route. I got some boxes to get out of here and everything, and we'll get going. Like I said, they send us the parts. Now there are going to be some modifications. These are stiffening plates for some axis holes, because the tank is going to be taking up some bays where there's some access holes, so we're gonna have to modify that. They send all of the stiffeners that you need and things like that. And then these are the plates. These were the ones. So, and when I say plates, these were the old ones that I never did get on the other fuel tanks. Just to kind of give you an idea, this is the length of the tank. So you're looking at a tremendous difference. In like you're looking at an additional about 2 feet, easily 2 feet, the tank from one to the other. So yeah, so these tanks are 2 feet longer than the stock Vans RV10, which gives you an additional, like I said, 10 gallons on each tank, which, you know, for my missions and everything, that is perfect for us. But that will leave me at bare minimum 20 gallons total in each tank, which will definitely give me my 45-minute threshold. I like to have a lot longer than that, but yeah, I mean, but that doesn't mean run them down to that, right? I mean, that just gives you your thresholds. It increases, like I said, it gives me another hour or so flying time. And when I was looking at my missions, the type of flying I'm doing, where I'm flying to, that extra hour would definitely put me there where, you know, and I would have plenty left over. I'm actually thinking, I looked at it, I'd have about 30 gallons left over. So that 30 gallons, people are like, well, that's got 30 gallons is what I fly now in the 172. So, you know, 36 is what I have in the 172. So when I land, I will have the same amount of fuel that I have in the 172 when I take off. So yeah, I'm glad Jesse spoke up and advised me to go with these bigger tanks. So really happy. I got to everything. Take the parts. I got bundle parts. I got to just make sure all the parts are there, and then yeah, we'll get the dimpling. I'm still waiting on the rest of the parts from Vans. They're going to take a little while because I told Vans don't ship them until all the parts are there to save the cut down on shipping and everything. So I don't know. I haven't gotten, Vans is really good. Usually 2 to 4 weeks after you order the replacement parts or the parts will be on their way. So, and I did throw, to all fairness to Vans, I did throw them a curveball. They pulled all the parts that I needed for the replacement fuel tanks. And then I called them back a week later and said, hey, I'm going with these different tanks. We need to change the order. And they're doing it. So I can't complain. Vans is just a great organization. I can't say enough about them and how they work with their builders and everything. So yeah, I'm not gonna speak. As frustrating as it is on having to redo those tanks and everything, as frustrating as that is, I am glad that I'm redoing them, because here you go. Sometimes, like I said, God doesn't shut a window without opening up a door, and he definitely did that for me on this one. So, all right, that's enough of that. I'm glad you guys were able to see the tanks. If you guys, I'm going to leave the link to the manufacturer, to Ken's website. It is in this thing. It's called Sky Design Engineering. And then we will get we'll get these dimpled. Get one dimpled. I'm gonna put one up out of the way, so I don't have the confusion that I had on the last tanks. I'm gonna get these dimpled, and then we will proceed to pro seal. Different way of pro sealing. It's the industry standard way, and I'm not saying Vans is wrong. It's just it's the way that Boeing does theirs. It's the way that PPG recommends that you use their Pro Seal, and the method is a little bit is it's a little bit more detailed, a little bit more cost too. There's some other products that you use when doing this, some adhesion enhancers and stuff like that. And we'll get into that when we get there. We're just not there yet. So yeah, I've got some dimpling to do, as you guys can see, and then we'll go from there. But like always, thank you for spending your time watching the videos. Make sure you leave a comment, question, concern, and in the comment section about the airplane. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And like always, may God bless.